Today I want to teach you a super cool trick. If you click on a block with both mouse buttons at the same time, you will replace the block that you're breaking with the block that you are holding. It works very well in creative. It's not like a cheap trick that I'm doing, like there's a hidden block behind and I'm placing it, or there's no editing or anything. Really test it out, open a creative world and test it out. You'll see it's super fun. It's a trick that was taught to me by my friend YDYT, and you can use it to make some very cool stuff like this abomination here that should not exist, but somehow it does, so that the anvil is standing on top of the lantern, which is itself attached at the bottom of the anvil. Don't ask me how it works, it just does, and that's very cool. I mentioned creative, but it can also work in survival. So let me just switch game modes. So if I place the anvil on top of that slime block, I'm using slime blocks because you can insta-break them, otherwise it will not work. But if you use a block that you can insta-break, you click with both buttons at the same time and ta-da! It's now attached to the bottom of the anvil, and as you saw, as a proof that I'm truly in survival, the slime block just got ejected that way. So you can use it to make stuff like that. I've done that on the Ripple Effect server where I play, where I decorated the shopping district with lamps like that. But you can use it with a lot of combinations. So you can use buttons to hold gravity blocks. You can hold them with levers, with lanterns as you already saw, with glowberry vines and weeping vines, with bells, with any kind of amethyst bud or amethyst clusters. And also, that one I did not expect, but it works with spore blossoms like that. This one was taught to me by Casback Gaming. They tweeted me a picture of a super pretty cherry blossom tree that they made with some of that pink concrete powder. So it's a super cool trick that can make some very strange stuff. People will really look at that like weirdly, but it can also be used to make some decorative stuff. So it's pretty useful with directional blocks like logs, for example. So let's say I want to build this design here, so a pillar with alternating sideways logs. Normally I'd have to have a setup like this, so I'd build like two walls, or well, two columns, and I'd place one on either side alternating like that, and then I'd have to clean up the place around it to have my column. But if I pick some scaffolding block, where is my scaffolding blocks? There they are. I just place some scaffolding and I click both buttons at the same time, and there we go. It's already placed, it's already built. Super easy, super simple, and you can use it with other directional blocks, like for example hoppers. So if I place a hopper, or if I replace this block here with a hopper, as you can see, it's facing in that direction, which normally to place the hopper like that, you need to go back here, place a block, remove this block, place the hopper, remove this block, and now it's in the same direction that I can get by just replacing this block while facing in this direction. And I realized there's something I didn't really mention too clearly, but the way to decide which direction it will be facing, it's just based on the face that you're looking at when replacing the block. So for example, if I placed a block by clicking on this side here, the hopper is facing to that direction. So if I replace the block while looking at this face here, it's gonna look also in that direction. If instead I look at that face, it's gonna point into that direction. If I look at the bottom face like that, it's gonna look down. So I can turn it around like so, pretty easily. It's a very neat trick to place hoppers in the direction that you want. It's also super useful if you want to use the bottom texture of a shulker box. It's not something that we see people use a lot, but it's a very cool texture. Little spiral here. So yeah, if you want to get that texture here, again, it's super easy. Just replace the block and you'll see it easily. You won't have to go on the other side, place a block, etc., like I did with that hopper. And the last trick that I have, it's something that I've used a lot recently while building a mini game. You can use some scaffolding, because if you're playing in survival, you can insta-break it. So let's just go in survival just to prove my point. And if I replace this block here, see, this piston here is facing towards me, and it's not like on anything. So sometimes pistons can be hard to place, especially in survival, in the middle of a build. So with that, it makes things just a bit easier. So that's gonna be it for this little video. I hope you found that interesting and informative. Please tell me if there's any use for that trick that you have that I didn't think of. That would make me super happy, so please write those down in the comments below. So thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic day.